We're here again,
We're doing it.
and
It's
we went to
happening.
the moon.
We did. We did
Well, not
not,
we.
but
We.
we collectively, as
Yes.
I'm afraid of flying, so I'm not going to put my
Yeah.
booty on a rocket and
Yeah.
launch myself into space anytime soon.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
tells me they would not approve me for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely afraid of like deep water. So the fact that it would be deep space and just
Mhm.
floating off into nothingness.
Yeah.
But
I do think I
also,
would rather go to space than dive. Uh,
oh, 100%. Yes.
and I do mean people are probably like, that's ridiculous. I do mean like more the deep. Like I'm thinking there is a documentary. What's the guy's name? I feel like this happens every episode. What's the guy's name? He was the
Are you talking
director
about the,
of Titanic.
oh,
Um,
James Cameron?
yeah, so he's like a big time like actual
Yes.
like submersible diver, like legit of the community type. And
Yeah.
he has a documentary. I do not know the name off the top of my head, but I've watched this document. I have a fascination with the Titanic and like all things Titanic, and
Yeah. I think
because
I've
I'm
seen the same
terrified of
one.
it, I'm very interested in
Same.
it. And he has a documentary about going to, is it the
Hmm.
Marianas Trench, like the deepest part of the ocean, and
Yes.
like di and
Mm.
hard pass on that, like
Yeah. No
zero
thanks.
percent want any part of that.
I
Yeah, that
mean,
yeah.
I mean,
There's
we've
a
seen The Abyss. You remember the movie The Abyss, where the
vaguely, but
aliens are at the
yeah,
bottom
yeah,
of
yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
ocean?
yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
way back. This is like,
Yeah.
I think it came out in the either late 80s or late 90s, maybe.
Mhm.
But ever since I saw that, I was like, yeah, I don't want to go underwater. And it's not because of
I
the
don't
alien thing. It's just everything about deep,
yeah, there's
like,
too much going on there.
I
Yeah.
just, yeah. It's
I
like
don't even
everybody
like
else, cool.
even just like diving, like the
Yeah.
is sport, the whatever experience of I've had people try and Sean is a big time diver.
Yes.
And uh I've had people like try and talk me into it because with my photography, they're like, you would probably love it. And I'm like, I probably would. I would probably also panic at some point. Like,
Yep. Yep.
and the thing is, like, you can't just like be done. Like, there's rules.
Exactly.
And, yeah, I just don't think
Yeah.
it's for me.
I enlisted Charles in swim because I'm not a great swimmer.
Mhm.
So even though I've went out in the ocean, I have drift snorkeled.
Yeah.
I have, done that in the Caribbean, like because I feel like it's a once in a lifetime thing. You have to do it. You just suck
Yeah.
it up. And even though you're scared of all these things, you just have to
Mhm.
do it. But I specifically enlisted him in swim because I was like, I don't want him to have a fear of water like
Yeah.
I do. And it's been it's been great seeing him just be a fish, just
Mhm.
loves it. And I'm like, good because,
That's just
and
good
he's
for
even,
all kids to. I don't know
oh,
if like I mean
100%.
obviously I think it's probably more well known now than like back when we were growing up. And I don't know if this is different. Living in Florida, there's in-ground pools pretty much in everyone's backyard. But like yeah, that's a thing when once your kid is I mean even itty bitty ones, they will
Yeah.
teach them how to float and stuff. And
Yep.
it's uh a big thing here because unfortunately we've definitely had the stories where it ends poorly.
I know.
It
I
doesn't know
know.
how to swim. So
Yeah, that
uh,
was my big fear too. Like I
yeah,
just don't like I don't want another parent to have to feel overly responsible for my child. It's like
yeah,
I feel like if I can give him the skill, he can
mhm,
flourish.
yep,
Eventually we'll get Parker into swim, which he's a water lover. So he has ear tubes and we're still waiting for the other one to come out. But until that comes out, he can't take swim. So eventually we'll get there. But
yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. Like it's amazing that, you know, water on Earth only goes so deep, but space is so infinite. And I feel
hmm
like we have this really hard time as humans, like understanding that type of
yeah,
distance. It just it's like it doesn't compute, right?
No,
Like it's like,
no.
what do you mean? It just keeps going.
Yeah. I've
So
been looking at
yeah.
the photos. They've released a few of them this morning.
Yes.
And I think it's from the solar eclipse that the one I'm thinking of. But I'm just like, even just looking, I'm like,
I know.
how is this a thing
I
that like
know.
we're
Just
we're capable of
amazing.
doing even? And I was telling Sean, I was like, I listened to the whole thing yesterday. I had it on the whole from the moment it started till um luckily for me, right before it got sad.
Yeah.
Not sad, but before it took a turn.
The bittersweet, what do they call it? That there's a movie about it. They call it
Oh, I know you're
uh yeah.
this our whole podcast is we should have called it searching for words.
Yeah.
That's if we might
It
that
really
might
it really is. Like, and it's funny because I was watching The Good Hang with Amy Poehler the other day, and she's like, "Hold on, let me search it," because she does the same thing. And she's like on a computer, and she's like, "Oh yes, this."
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
unless I have it in front of me, yeah, it's not there.
yeah, but it is.
Um,
It's another way of saying the bittersweet
mhm,
of of what comes from loss and just the pieces of joy, the things somebody refers to it as glitter,
mhm.
just around. And it's like, it's those kind of things where it's
Yeah.
just like, it's such a beautiful piece, um, to be able to bring up and
It was
just
so
have.
fun though too. Like, listen, I mean, I think I don't know if this is because being in tech sometimes, oftentimes, you do not really know what's happening.
Yeah.
And I say that in a sense of like we are words people, we are our communications and marketing and storytellers and that sort of thing. So sometimes you do work with certain technologies that you're just like, I do not
Yeah.
fully grasp this concept. I know enough to like do my job with it, but
Hmm.
we are not the engineers behind this. We are not the scientists behind this
Exactly.
thing. So for like, I have friends who are like, what is quantum? And I was like, nope, go Google that. I'm not
Yeah.
even going to start to tell you what that is because
Yeah.
I can edit those words, but I am not going to teach you what they are. Um,
Exactly.
but just being able to like listen to like mission control and like they were talking about like photography and like
Hmm.
descriptive words and it's like so I don't know like I don't know if I never thought about that, right? Like
Yeah.
these astronauts took classes in how to describe things and photography classes and then you had someone on this planet speaking hundreds of thousand miles away
Hmm.
to tell them which lenses and how to position and like all these
Yeah.
things that like they and then even just little clips of them. I think they were scrolling through on the iPad of like photos they caught and like, you could tell like they'd gotten a good one. Like as the photographer part of me was
Oh
just like
yeah.
I was like, oh, it's so fun to like listen to something and like understand what they're talking about.
Exactly.
And you
Yes.
don't really, I did not go into yesterday thinking that would happen because I just assumed it was going to be way above my head,
Right.
literally and
Right.
figuratively, and that I was not going to quite understand the science they were doing. Um, but I also love too that they really, I think someone at Mission Control said this, and we'll find the actual quote on it, but the fact that the reason they do these things and send humans is like nothing beats the human eye and the human
Yes.
experience and even I think I think it was the pilot who had said like the cameras were struggling to capture some of it. Like again, like I
Yeah.
think we all kind of know that. Like there are some sunsets that like you could have the best camera on the planet and you're just like, no, it looks different
Yep.
in right now. Why doesn't it look the same in camera? And it's just a different experience. Um,
100%.
but just the fact that like yes, we have all these new technologies and everything and all this fancy stuff, but it was really the human experience,
Yeah.
photography, like, I saw a lot of people saying like, STEM should have always been kept STEAM because the art part of it
It
is
is.
a crucial part of that. Um, and then my other exciting part of yesterday was just all the women, all the like women
Yeah.
voices, and like almost
Yes.
every time I looked up, I'm like, that is a group of women scientists
Yes.
and engineers and communication, like a whole team just of women
Yeah.
behind this thing. And how cool that is, because it does remind me of the book that and I've taken a workshop with her, Samara Bay.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
and
Yeah.
she's a vocal coach, and I'll link her stuff below. Fascinating book that I recommend it to everyone. I think I bought it for you. But really in terms of like how we use our voices, and often how you don't, when you hear things like, what Tom Hanks sounds like, we've heard him so many
Yes.
times. You kind of know, even the one small step for, like everyone kind of knows these
Exactly.
historical voices, and predominantly they are male, because that is
Mhm.
what was back then, or what just things would default to.
Yeah.
So the fact that like you really didn't hear a ton of male voices yesterday.
Yeah.
Obviously there are three male astronauts up there, but um, I can't really think of anyone from Mission Control that I mean, I saw men there. They are they are there,
Yeah.
but they weren't really the voices behind the any of the comms pieces of it,
Right.
whether, directly with the astronauts or the broadcast that I was watching,
Yeah.
which was just the NASA link. So um, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. I like that
There,
that your kids will grow up in a world that like
I
has
know.
has that to it, that like
That is one of the
they're going to have
things
that
that,
diversity and richness to
yes,
it.
yes. And that is one of the things that, like, every once in a while, Charles will come home and he'll say, "Oh, um, something about long hair is just for girls, or this is only for girls." And I'm like, well, do you remember Casey? I was like, she shaved her head. I was like, she didn't have any hair. So I'm like, so now he goes, I know, mom, I can't just look at someone and assume that they're girl just because they have long hair. And I'm
Hmm.
like, exactly. So like that's the thing is even at his age, and he's only in first grade, like he's already starting to associate certain
Yeah.
characteristics with either male or female. And we've even had the conversation about how strong men are versus women. And
Hmm.
even Chris, it was funny because we were having the conversation about, well, dad's stronger than mom. And Chris goes, well, in different ways. He's like, because your mom birthed you. So
Hmm.
like that's a different kind of
Yeah.
strength. So like, so like you think about those kind of things, and it's just it's how you want to quantify it, right?
Yeah.
And what associating things you want to associate it with. It's just it's amazing that even in first grade, and I know that people are saying, oh, indoctrinating your kids. And I know we don't like to talk politics in this podcast, but like it starts super early.
Yeah.
And to be able to recognize that, it doesn't just all fall on one sex to do all the
Hmm.
things or the other to do the other. So
Yep.
so it's really nice to be able to see that. And just going back to what you said earlier about this whole changing STEM to STEAM, and having that art. I feel like this is one of those things where, because social media is so prevalent in today's age,
Hmm.
there's something for everyone in this whole NASA mission. Like
Yeah.
this everything. I mean, from the toilet breaking. Well, it didn't technically break, but there's something
We
something
are
weird
go for
going on with the
toilet.
toilet. To anyone who's a fan of Nutella, like
Hmm.
there's something for everybody
Yep.
here. And that's another thing that I have loved about this entire mission is just this constant repeating, line of this is for everyone.
Hmm.
It's not just one country. It's
Yep.
everyone, the thousands, hundreds of thousands of pieces, millions of pieces that it took to
Hmm.
build. Everyone has had their fingers on
Yeah.
it. So it's a beautiful mission. I mean, I cried watching um the video you sent me yesterday about them
Mhm.
naming the crater for
Yep.
Carol. I was prepared because you had told me
I
you're
warned you.
probably gonna cry, grab tissues. And I was
I
prepared,
was
but then
I
I
was
just wasn't
unprepared.
prepared.
I was watching it live, just like ugly, like no, no, no. And then I haven't stopped since. I have another friend who's been sending me stuff. I'm like, I think I slept for 3 hours, and other than that, I've not stopped crying.
It's it's
Um,
just the whole thing is just beautiful.
yeah.
Everything from the conversations that are happening to the imagery that's coming out of it to
Mhm.
the sentiment of the thing. It's just beautiful. Like
Yeah.
I just feel so fortunate that we have the opportunity to be able to witness this. Yeah.
I think too, it's I've seen some people kind of being against it, which I do understand. I mean, there's a lot going on in the world, and now, granted, this mission was scheduled out many
Yeah.
years ago. I don't know exactly when it was scheduled, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like you just decide to launch a shuttle and especially with people on
Go
it.
to the moon. Right.
Um, and I think that's something too, like, so living in Florida, like we see these launches. I mean, sometimes there are multiple, like in a week. I think we've had a couple have gone up in a day, all unmanned. I actually saw the last like manned shuttle mission of like the shuttle program. When that launched, I went out and photographed it. And then I think this is like one of the first, if not the first, with like actual people, it is for sure in deep space,
Yeah.
since. And so I think it's one of those things where you could look at it on the surface level and say it's a lot of money, it's a lot of this, it's a lot of that. NASA honestly is one different than SpaceX, so or the
Hmm.
other private,
Yes.
uh
Yes.
space companies. So NASA is government funded,
Hmm.
and almost constantly being defunded. So it's one of those things where I think I've also seen a lot of scientists and researchers and folks who have, dedicated their careers at NASA, really trying to explain like it's they're not getting the money you think they are,
Yeah.
and the money they do get is not taking anything away from anyone
Yeah.
else, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So and there are so many things have come from like space exploration that we use in our daily lives that like
Hmm.
we would not have otherwise,
Yep.
like iPhones and all this technology,
Oh
and like
yeah.
even just regular everyday things that they've had to
Hmm.
create for these explorations. So it's really, really
Yeah.
fascinating. Again, I think being closer to it, it's up there with like the Titanic. I consider myself a space geek, like totally like geeked out about it. And we run out and watch them. I was upset the day it launched because I'm like, there are clouds in the sky. We're not going to be able to
Yeah.
see this thing. We did get lucky. I'll post some of the photos and videos and stuff. But yeah, for folks who don't know or aren't as close to it, I would definitely encourage them to like research it a little bit more. And um yeah, like going to Kennedy Space Center is like a like
Yeah.
it's one of the, I think, school like field trips here. It's like one of those things that kids, that and like St.
Yeah.
Augustine, just this the first city here.
Yeah.
um so it's just kind of ingrained in growing up here, and it's kind of
Hmm.
part of life. But um I don't think it's one of those things you can take for granted either, because
Oh
it
no.
is
No.
it's just really, really cool. uh
It's out of this world, literally.
yeah,
Like,
literally.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally and figuratively. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, even growing up in Ohio, Neil Armstrong, he was
Hmm.
from Ohio. There's the Neil Armstrong Museum in Wapakoneta, Ohio, which I went to multiple times. And it's just crazy. I mean, actually it's a good question, which is, as a kid, it's like, did you ever dream of going to space? And
Hmm.
and I can honestly say, yeah. Like even in my home bedroom where my parents still live, on the ceiling are glow in the dark stars still. And I put them up when I was probably 8 or 10, you
Hmm.
know. and I'm in my 40s. So, and my mom's like, we debated on taking them down, but we just couldn't, like, we just wanted to leave them up. So I'm like, well, whoever gets this house after my parents pass away, those stars are probably going to be be there
I say
until
that
then.
sticky
But
stuff is
oh,
that's a tip.
legit back then, yes, it was like we're never moving, and yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, those I remember putting those up there all those years ago, and they still are there, and I love, there was a movie called Space Camp. I don't know if you
Hmm.
ever saw that, where they
I think I
accidentally
did.
launched into space. um it was so fantastic. But yeah, I always loved it. And did you ever have this fascination with,
No,
no?
no, but I mean, again, I mean, growing up in New Jersey, it like again wasn't very close to us, you know.
Hmm.
It's kind of it's funny because like I mean, I moved down to Florida when I was 10, and when the shuttles used to come back in, you would have these massive sonic booms here, and now it like you miss those sounds. You don't get them every time
Yeah.
with the rockets. It's kind of a little hit or miss. They will send out like if they think they're gonna, I guess they
Yeah.
can kind of gauge, if and when. So they will send out notifications because people aren't used to them now. We haven't heard them
Yeah.
in such a long time. But the first time that it happened here, I mean, I was like a 10-year-old kid and I just thought, well, that's it.
That's
Like,
it.
what the heck? It was overnight and like,
Oh
ran into my
man.
mom's room and she's like, what, she had it on TV and she could explain it kind of thing. But I was like, where have we moved? This is a regular occurrence. Um, but I mean, so over time, I mean, even I was in fifth grade when we moved here, and anytime a shuttle would go up, like classes would pause, and you would all run outside and watch it take off and see if you could see it, and that was like a normal thing. But I never wanted to be on the shuttle. No.
Yeah.
Even like going to Kennedy Space Center and like seeing like they have parts of different shuttles and they have
Hmm.
I forget exactly which ones they're like on display. All sorts of different artifacts and different periods and stuff like that. And some of it like it's kind of like the photos that we're seeing now. Like you would just like how are we
I know.
launching this off?
Yeah.
People wanted to be in. Okay, no, that's cool. Good for them. Um, yeah, there's a I have to look up I have to look up this word too. There's a fear of I think it's called like submantio or something like that. I'm mispronouncing it. But
Hmm.
I'm part of this like Reddit page where it's like ships that have sunk, whether
Hmm.
unintentionally or intentionally for like reefs and stuff.
Yeah.
And some of them just like I've had I'll show them to Sean. I'm like, does this give you the creeps? And he's like, no, that does nothing. I was like, oh, it gives me the creeps. Like just seeing like like if I don't know if it's like something that's out of place that like shouldn't be
Oh
where it
yeah.
is. But like there's different names for things like that. And I feel like the space part of it has a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, there's definitely a lot of heebie-jeebies.
yeah.
I mean, just the thought of like being up somewhere where you can't just get out.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't
Like
just go.
I know, like that creeps me out probably more than and I'm not a claustrophobic person.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't consider myself either.
yeah, but man, that I mean, just not being able to move around,
But
but
I am
also I think
someone who like when I want to go home, I want to go home. Like I'm done
yes.
here. Like you can't
Yeah,
Irish goodbye from the spacecraft behind the moon.
exactly.
You gotta
Exactly.
wait it out 5 days.
But I feel like for especially for this mission, I mean, it's only a few days.
Mhm.
But being 24/7 in a closed space, I think that just the curiosity and the explorer in each of these
Yep.
people, it probably just skyrockets, and they
Mhm.
just don't even care that
Yeah.
they're, and I'm sure that's probably what happens,
Yeah.
because
I
I
think
just
there was um
can't imagine.
is it Senator Kelly who
Oh yeah.
Arizona from Arizona, right?
Yeah, the twins.
Someone had posted yesterday, do you think previous astronauts are having like FOMO right now, and he
Yeah.
reposted it and said, "Can confirm we are."
Yeah.
Like,
I
so
mean, because
I
it's
get that
really,
too, right? Like, you've
yes,
done a thing and now you're watching other people do the thing, and you're like, I would like to be doing the thing
I would
again.
like to do the thing again. Oh,
Hmm.
100%. Because it's, I mean, the curious little kid in all of us,
Hmm.
when you see someone doing something that you love, you have
Hmm.
that, oh man,
Yeah.
like
That
it
was my
just
other
ugh.
favorite part of yesterday, like all the joy, like from
Yes.
Threads, because I think primarily we both were kind of on Threads seeing this,
Hmm.
to lovingly space nerds,
Yeah.
uh, in like there's one this has probably been gift of like there's one of the guys in Mission Control who's just like excited
Yes.
dancing over something, or there were some of the science, there were two women last night who, when they were hearing about the
They're just
impact
like,
flashes, yeah, and I was like relaying it to Sean, and I was like, the space nerds are very excited about the
yeah.
impact flashes. And he's like, what
I
is an impact flash? I'm like, I'm looking it up, I'm not sure,
I
but
know.
we're very excited about it.
Yes, that is a real thing. I have a
Mhm.
friend. I used to work with him actually, and he used to work for JPL and NASA.
Mhm.
And when I was texting him during like after takeoff, and I was just like, "What is this like for you?" Like I was so
Yeah.
curious, and he's like, "This is just everything that I've ever dreamed, you know." And
Mhm.
he's always wanted this. Like he's
Mhm.
loved NASA. He's always wanted to be like part of anything having to do with space, whether that
Yeah.
is working on satellite launches or developing rovers, which he's done, all of these
Mhm.
things, which again,
Yeah.
crazy. But one of the things that he said, most people would be like, oh, that's fine. But like the rocket separation, his immediate response was, that was a beautiful separation. And I'm like, that is such a space nerd. Like, I love
Yeah.
you all. That is such a thing. And I was laughing. And at the same
Hmm.
time, I'm tearing up because
Yeah.
something that seems so simple, like
Hmm.
as an engineer and someone who has studied all of that, like
Yep.
seeing that do that in that perfect
Hmm.
of emotion in the way that it's supposed to, the
Yep.
anticipation, everything they've planned for, to be able to just see it and it happen without any issues. He was just elated,
Yeah.
just over the moon, just could not believe it. He was just
I
it was
I love
unbelievable.
like all the excitement. I have a few
Oh
friends that
yeah.
have worked at both Johnson and Kennedy Space Centers. And just seeing their posts and like how excited they are, and like what I I overheard this one night at like a restaurant, like way back when I was like 20, and it was like I don't know, I think it was a couple fighting, and she was like, you just can't enjoy someone's enjoyment, like joy,
Yeah.
like, and I was like, oh, I need to write that down because that's a really good one, like enjoy other people's joy, like,
100%.
and I love like like it's a little like vicariously living through them, of like
Yes.
I do not wish to go to space, but I am so happy that they
Yeah.
got to go and see this and like
Yes.
photograph it, and that they get to bring it home for us, and it sounds like there will be a Nat Geo documentary that I'll be watching 1,000
I
times, and
Yes.
you know um like what a moment for like I think too, it's we lack a lot of full sentence structures and smart, intelligent, brilliant people on the daily. And so to get that, and like from like their
Yes.
little kid moments to, and now more specifically like the astronauts, but like the little kid moments to, the heartfelt moments to them, like, getting nitty gritty into what they're seeing and experiencing and that kind of thing. Um, like there's just going to be just so much to take away from this for
Oh yeah.
I mean, probably years and decades, and
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I mean, the amount of information that they're coming home with
Yeah.
until I think it's the next planned mission. It's
Hmm.
2027. Um,
That sounds
it's
about right. I have
yeah.
we'll link it. I have a whole, there's a schedule. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
But this that whole yes, I there's something I know we joke about joy. Um, like going back, but I feel like this has also done a really nice reframe for us to like just refocus, like real joy and seeing other people's joy and just that happiness. It really does. Like I find myself actually like as I'm going through and just seeing these images, I'm like
Yeah.
smiling and just like, and also like tearing up and like
Mhm.
laughing and all these things because I'm just like it's so
Yep.
joyful and I
It's
feel
it's like
really
the best of humanity, which
100%.
sounds very trite, but like it is a reminder of what we're capable of and the
Yes.
possibilities, like the infinite possibilities of uh kindness and goodness
Yep.
and it I think it's easy to get lost in despair and sadness and all those things, but when you see I saw a post last night where the girl was like, I grew up loving space and I really thought I just stopped liking it, that
Yeah.
it wasn't my thing anymore. I wasn't going to watch the launch, and she's like, and I didn't, and then I started just seeing, you know, little things here, little things there about where they were and the mission, and and then they got to yesterday and she's like, I've been watching the full coverage. And she's like, and I realized like I haven't lost my love of space or any of
Yes.
this, or science, or it just like needed this to like pull it back into attention a little bit and
Yep.
um almost make it okay to have joy
Yes.
over
Yes.
these moments that are both big and small,
Yes.
so I think
It has,
it's
it
nice for
is,
millennials too to have something that's historic and
oh, 100%.
joyful.
Like it is 100%, I think, ignited the inner child
Hmm.
in so many people. And
Yeah.
I feel like in our current time when you can be so overwhelmed by so many things, I feel like this
Hmm.
is just one of those things that just
Yeah.
is truly bringing joy. So
Yeah.
I know we are actually at time. We
Yes.
really just this whole time just flew by.
It was
Um
a moon day episode, that we just couldn't not talk about the
I
moon.
know.
And
I
we're
know.
probably going to keep talking about the moon.
Exactly. We're probably, yes, it'll probably pop up next week as well
Hmm.
um and just all of the goodness. But again, even though this podcast we constantly always circle back, I feel like
Yeah.
this entire episode is just about like joy in general and just
Mhm.
the inner child just being ignited with something so fantastic and so beautiful at the same time. So,
It's
um
nice to have a hope rush for
exactly,
once.
exactly. Well, I feel like that's a perfect way for us to close. Is just like
Yes.
may you live in hope and joy for the rest
Yes.
of your week.
Let's bring those astronauts home and get them back on Earth, and I guess do it all again next year, whenever the next one is.
Exactly, exactly. All right, well, thanks for tuning in.